Cody, obviously deep with the Oilers. We talked about this, but how has it been just kind of getting here and starting camp? Just getting back to a season, kind of forgetting about the trade and everything like that.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice just to get going again. The trade happened late in the summer, so it was kind of a quick turnaround to get down here, find a place. But we came down early just to get settled. So I've been here for a few weeks now, so it's not too big of a surprise coming to camp.
Obviously, last year the Oilers were filled with you guys had Jay Woodcroft and then Chris Knobloch, and the Sharks had a coaching change here in the off season. How has it been, kind of, I guess, 3 coaches in a year roughly? Obviously, it's only been a few days here, but just how has that experience been as a player trying to make a name for yourself and build trust with a coach?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's just part of the game. When things aren't going well at times, sometimes that's the first piece that has to move. It's not necessarily their fault or anything. It's just kind of a spark, and that's one of the ways they can spark us. So, it ended up working out for us last year. We turned our season around, and now with a new coach, it's just a fresh face, fresh drills, fresh mindset going into the year. So I think guys feel a little rejuvenated this year too.
Guys like Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith are should make the opening night roster. They bring you in. They bring guys like Barclay Goodrow, Alex Wenberg in, these veteran players and players with size. What can you guys bring to kind of help them bring along? I know as a defenseman it might be a little different, but just as a presence on the ice, maybe something in the D zone, communication with breakouts. How can you help bring those guys along as well?
Yeah, I think there's a good mix now of veteran guys and young, exciting skills. So they help us out, they keep us young, and we help them out, and just trying to think their way through the game, help them out with things off the ice, and just from being around for a while, you learn things on the ice and away from the rink. So we're just going to try and help them out, help them feel comfortable, and get what they need to help us succeed.
Cody, yesterday we talked with Nico Sturm, and he said that it was the first 2 days of practice were 2 of the hardest that he's had. I'm not sure if he means in his career, in the Sharks' career or whatnot, but just in your experience, you're obviously a veteran. How hard were those first 2 days of practice comparatively to other ones you've had?
Yeah, I think I would agree with them. They were pretty tough, but that was the message coming into camp, is that we're going to be a competitive team this year. We're trying to take a step forward from last year, and that's a good way to do it. It's just to come and compete every day against each other, and so we're not too shocked when it comes to the season. We're just ready to go.
It seems like you guys have started to implement some defensive systems, or at least worked on that on the ice. What's the focus been? Has it been just simply keep it simple, get the puck out?
Yeah, I think camp is a good mixture of competing and getting into shape and learning the systems. We have a lot of new guys this year, so it's got to be a good mix, I think, of learning the system so everyone's on the same page and we're ready to go when the season starts. And yeah, I think we're just going to try and simplify things and work our way out of the zone, and then try and hang on pucks a little more in the O zone and shoot some pucks.
What are some of the sort of, not tips and tricks, but sort of things you do to get the puck out of the zone quickly in general?
I think just if we're all on the same page, we all have a plan. It's easier to execute under pressure. When you're trying to guess and you're not too sure what you're doing, that's when you make more mistakes and you're a little slower coming out of the zone. So I think if we're all just on the same page, keeping it simple, then we'll be out of our zone a little quicker.
Are you more of an offensive type of defenseman, or do you have more of a stay-at-home guy?
I try and play a little two-way game. Throughout junior and growing up, I was a little more offensive, and then coming into the league, there's a lot of offensive guys, so just try to fit in where I can help the team out. And throughout my career, I've kind of fell into more of just a two-way style defenseman.
And how familiar are you with San Jose before he came here, and how have you been able to acclimate now that you're here now finally?
Yeah, I'm starting to figure things out. City-wise, living-wise, it's a little different for me. Before we used to just go to Santana Row and stay there the whole time. So now I've experienced some other neighborhoods and stuff, and I'm really enjoying the city.
So celebrating the next McDavid?
It's pretty special so far. He's in another group, so I haven't seen a ton of them, but he's definitely got the skill. And I've seen a lot of Smith. He's been on our team throughout the first few days of camp, and he's got a ton of skill too. So the future looks bright for Sharks.
How does that, the off-season was so short for you, how does that affect your training?
Yeah, you just try and take the necessary time off. It's more to reset your mind. You're still in game shape, playing that late, so it's more just to take a mental break from the game. So I took about a month off just at my cottage with my family and friends, and then just right back to training, and all of a sudden I'm in San Jose.
How beat up were guys after that long run at 26, 27 games? How was that locker room afterward, just like medically?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, physically you're pretty beat up, but also mentally, just staying locked in for all of playoffs is ended up being a couple months, and just being that locked in every single day is mentally exhausting. So once it's over, you can take a step back and just catch up on some rest, and take a step back and look at the big picture.
For yourself, how does, that experience, what can you bring with that experience to this group that, hasn't been in the playoffs for a long time? And many guys, they brought guys in like Barclay and other guys who've been deep in the playoffs, but just a guy who's played the final and so recently, and the chaos that was that final coming back from 3-0, how can you bring that mentality to a regular season with such a young team?
I think the biggest thing you learn in playoffs is how quickly you have to reset. Win or loss, you have to reset, get ready, playing again in 2 nights. Just like the season, like you play every couple nights. You got to reset after losses or big wins, because the next team is coming in and they're ready to try and do the same. They're ready to win the game. So I think that's the biggest takeaway in playoffs is not getting too high or too low, and just staying steady as you can.
It sounds a little cliche, but obviously you mentioned not getting too high, too low. How can a player do that effectively? I mean, especially guys, younger in the lineup and really learning the NHL, and how can they not, maybe they get 3 games in a row with a goal. How can they not, lose that side of the other side of their game, I guess?
Yeah, I think for sure for a young guy, there's a period where you got to adapt. Guys are bigger, stronger, and I think that'll be a big part of it this year, is not getting too down. They are world-class talent, and they'll find a way to put the puck in the net. So just not get too frustrated. It is a different league, and I think it'll take some time, but they'll figure it out.
What's been your impression of Sam Dickinson? You've been paired a lot with him.
He's great. I mean, he's a good kid. He's a big, strong defenseman for his age, and he's got poise. He makes plays, and he's got a long reach and plays physical. So far, like what I see, he's a big, strong kid.
All right, thanks, Cody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cody.
Cody Kwiatkowski.